besides the obvious racism in the BTS Howard University situation, what I'm seeing is just a lack of depth and a lack of interaction with the story that they are supposedly trying to tell, trying to use, capitalize on to market their documentary, their show, whatever it is. It says to me that you didn't actually take the time to think critically about the story you're telling, the story that you're using, and it's saying that it's so important and integral. There's no critical thought. It was just serendipitous that they happened to be 7 Korean men who and the recording of Arirang. Like it's serendipitous, and it was, you were lucky enough that that was what happened. But rather, if you have anyone on the production team had taken even a moment to think about the story, think about how that situation could have arisen, that out of all the universities, they could only go to Howard University, that this kind of situation happens there during segregated America, then they would have come to the very, very obvious, clear understanding that this is because of segregated racist America.
Every time Black people and Asian people start to collectively come together, K-pop has to ruin it. Like BTS just depicted Howard University like this in the year of our Lord 1896, when there was no chance that a predominantly white institution would have let in 7 Korean men, and only Black people were welcoming enough to Asian people. A couple weeks ago, there was also that controversy where a K-pop group said the N-word and then claimed that they were saying neighbors instead. And all of this came on the heels of H-Mart Gate, where Black people were encouraging us to gatekeep our culture and had basically stepped in to save Madeline from the 3 Korean content creators who were sending like a huge hate train her way.
I'm gonna say this and then turn off my phone, I think, but this whole BTS situation is actually a great example of why it was so difficult to root for K-pop demon hunters during award season. There was this expectation that was sometimes silent and was other times stated in such a way that I don't think people realized that's what they were asking for. But there was this expectation that Black Americans would just be willing to set aside the fact that K-pop as an industry is built on the exploitation and appropriation of Black culture, so that Koreans, people within that diaspora and animation, an art form that is typically discredited, could get their flowers. And I'm sorry, but I find that fucking infuriating.
And when it comes down to K-pop idols not being held accountable for their racist actions, a lot of Black K-pop fans also play into that shit as well. Because I see so many people saying, oh, they did it so long ago, oh, you guys are reaching, I'm Black, I didn't get offended. Mind you, this K-pop idol just said, and mind you, they're sitting up here portraying negative stereotypes. And before you guys say I'm reaching, or you guys call these Black K-pop fans that I'm allegedly talking about bots, just remember, I saw so many Black K-pop fans trying to defend Court, saying that if you found anything wrong with what Carter's did, you are racist. They literally tried to gaslight their own people.
I seen a video about this, and I'm so glad that this is a conversation, because I definitely noticed this, and it's particularly a reason why I have a lot of trouble engaging with this particular genre of music. And I know many people are going to disagree with this, but K-pop and the way that K-pop mocks Black culture, I cannot get with it. I can't get with it. Like, I done seen too many K-pop things. Like, I seen the Kick in the Door one. I seen the, like, Rihanna one. And it's, like, even the ones that are, like, not plays on, like, American music and things like that, it's just, like, the mannerisms, the clothes, the dancing, the groups having rappers.
At this point, the hottest humiliation ritual on the planet has to be being a Black K-pop fan. The only thing I could reasonably compare it to is being a Black fan of minstrel shows. And what are you doing? I love the music. Who cares if they disrespect me? They're literally playing in your face, and you just keep giving them money. Going beyond the fact that it's just stolen Black art, and they still have not acknowledged that on the whole, every other...
Hey, real quick before we jump in, okay? There's something that has been sitting with me lately, especially with how big K-pop is right now, and all the talk around Asian pop culture, alright? So a lot of Black folks, I know, myself included, have been noticing something that feels kind of off, you know? On one hand, you'll see these moments where there is straight up anti-Blackness happening, but on the other side, you see Black culture being used everywhere. And by everywhere, I mean the music, the style, the whole vibe. And it's like, hold up, I'm not trying to start nothing or call people out just to do it, all right? But we gotta be honest about what's really going on. The sounds y'all are loving, the looks everyone is copying, that didn't just appear out of nowhere, folks. That came from black creativity, black innovation, Years of it. Let me be honest. I rock with K-pop. I do. I listen to it and I enjoy it. But there's a difference between showing genuine love and respect where something came from, versus just taking it and acting like it's yours. More and more people are starting to see that and they are asking questions. So guys, I want you to watch this video, right? Let's watch this video together first, and then we'll come back and really talk about it. Guys, if you're new to this channel, of which y'all are new to this channel, why not go ahead and subscribe to my channel? I'm targeting 1,000 subscribers this month, guys. And with your support, I'll really, really, really appreciate. Stay put.
Or do something racist. Y'all keep giving them outs. Like, no, they're from a different culture. They don't understand the sheer amount of variety they bring to racism would disagree with you. They keep being racist and creative in different ways. What do you mean you created an animation of Howard and took all the black people out? You wouldn't even know that Howard existed unless you knew about the black people that were there. It's a historically black college. At this point, is there a K-pop group that hasn't said nigga? Is there a single one? And the most embarrassing thing about this whole situation is you could find a black group that did that and understand the things that they were saying. There is not an original thing happening in K-pop that you could not find a black artist doing in the 80s and 90s. You could just go find it. But no, you want to be the butt of the joke. You can't even speak Korean, but you want to be they whipping boy. It's so odd to me. The least you could do is demand better from them. I'm not saying that you could fix all of the issues that K-pop has, but you could at least make some noise about it. Stand up for yourself. What are you doing? I feel like I've asked that so many times in this video, but I truly want to know.
I'm gonna say this and then turn off my phone, I think, but this whole BTS situation is actually a great example of why it was so difficult to root for K-pop demon hunters during award season. There was this expectation that was sometimes silent and was other times stated in such a way that I don't think people realized that's what they were asking for. But there was this expectation that Black Americans would just be willing to set aside the fact that K-pop as an industry is built on the exploitation and appropriation of Black culture, so that Koreans, people within that diaspora and animation, an art form that is typically discredited, could get their flowers. And I'm sorry, but I find that fucking infuriating. And every single time this conversation comes up, there's somebody who wants to put it to bed by pointing out that there have been Black artists who have appropriated from Korean culture or other cultures within the Asian diaspora. That's the only comparison you can really make, says it all. You're talking about individual acts of Black artists versus a multi-billion-dollar industry. Especially considering that K-pop demon hunters, even if it's just in a small way, does directly contribute to that exploitation, appropriation, and erasure of Black Americans' contributions to the genre in that opening sequence where they're giving you the mythology of the demon hunters, right? Zoe's whole thing being that, she's the maknae, she's so cute, she's so adorable, she's so precious, until she starts rapping and slinging around AAVE is weird as fuck. That's racist. The most frustrating part isn't even just, the existence of anti-Blackness. Unfortunately, I'm quite used to that in the arts and entertainment. The most frustrating part is that literally any critique or acknowledgement of it is met with a dozen different versions of, but don't you think it's worth it to kind of set that aside because of what this movie means to Koreans and Korean culture, or because of what this movie getting awards means for animation? What if I say no? What if I say no, I don't think it's worth it to set aside the feelings and oppression of Black people for literally anything? Now I'm the asshole, and I really don't think I should be. If you want to win a white man's awards, go win a white man's awards. You're not wrong. Being anti-Black is certainly a fast track to doing that. But don't expect me to applaud your decision to do so.
Quickest way for me to figure out that you're a coon is for you to be a Black K-pop stan. Because you mean to tell me that you skip over all this good black R&B music, this black hip hop music, this black pop music to listen to a cheap imitation in a language that you do not even speak. That's like the coon chip has already been implanted into your brain, and it's just doing its work now. Like, you're just an Asian obsessed coon, in my opinion. Like, that shit it's so ridiculous to me, bro. And then a lot of the anti-blackness that you people will speak with, it's like it even more reinforces the point. Like, bruh, like, as soon as I hear black K-pop fan, automatically the first thing I'm thinking is, yo, this person's a coon. Like, get him the fuck out of here.
What is your K-pop fandom hot take? Here's mine. A lot of y'all hate black women. Either that or fetishize them. Let's talk about it. This is something I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but back when I was still active on, my dog is doing, you straight? Back when I was like active in the K-pop community here on TikTok a couple of years ago, I would see so many people almost inadvertently or just straight out being so repulsed or being so against the idea of black women being seen as attractive by Korean men. I don't know if they're still doing this, but back in my day, people would be making videos asking like, oh, do you think you can pull your bias? Oh, what do you think is your bias type? Stuff like that, like fun, playful things. And anytime a woman that looked like me wanted to like show her confidence, wanted to speak up, wanted to partake in the conversation, immediately shut down. Y'all came from the woodworks and tried to humble us every time. And then would love to try to excuse that racism, excuse that mindset by being like, oh, it's not me. It's the societal norms. It's the beauty standards of South Korea. Shut up. Let's be realistic. You ain't getting shows. I ain't getting shows. We ain't getting shows. Like, it's K-pop. It's a fan. Who has time to be realistic here? I'm here to have fun. It's like, y'all can have fun. Y'all can be delusional, but when it comes to black K-pop stands, we can't. Which also, like, it's not delusional because look at me. But then you would have that, or you would get the flip side of like, oh, God forbid you are a black woman in a Namjoon bias. Y'all, it ain't for the weak. Y'all love almost fetishizing on behalf of idols, and it's always like Namjoon or Mingi. Like, people, like, why? Being like, oh, love black woman from infinity to infinity. Like, y'all are fetishizing on someone else's behalf. That's gross. It's weird. And I feel like back in the day, I had to unlearn this. But like, as a black K-pop stan, yeah, I could joke about it. I could joke about Jamal. I love me some Jamal. But like, when y'all do it, it's got a bad taste. The taste is sour. And so even I had to unlearn that. But still, I be seeing it. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I was just on Threads. That was the first mistake. And someone really commented in response to my thread saying, oh, Namjoon is collecting black women like Pokemon. What the hell? Y'all will really fix y'all lips to say something like that and then be wondering what you did wrong. Y'all will scream up and down about racism and fetishization towards your own idols and then go ahead and do the same thing towards other people in your same fandom. Make that make sense? Can we just let black women live in peace, please? Even in the K-pop space. I beg.
Every time black people and Asian people start to collectively come together, K-pop has to ruin it. Like, BTS just depicted Howard University like this in the year of our Lord 1896, when there was no chance that a predominantly white institution would have let in 7 Korean men, and only black people were welcoming enough to Asian people. A couple weeks ago, there was also that controversy where a K-pop group said the N-word and then claimed that they were saying neighbors instead. And all of this came on the heels of H-Mart Gate, where black people were encouraging us to gatekeep our culture, and had basically stepped in to save Madeline from the 3 Korean content creators who were sending like a huge hate train her way for wanting to gatekeep our culture. I don't even know if it's K-pop at this point. I'm not Korean, but seriously, like, Korean people, what is going on? There's a Korean content creator, I'm not gonna say who was arguing with Iranian people and calling them all Zionists because they disagreed with her take on Iran. And then because I kind of look like you, on a lot of my videos, black people are like, can you explain this Korean anti-black thing again? And I'm like, I'm not Korean. I'm not Korean, so I do my best, but why are you bringing the whole team down like this? And this is not all Korean people. I have Korean mutuals who are great, who I believe to be in solidarity with other minority people, with other Asians. But K-pop as an industry is being extremely racist toward Black people and dismissive of the ways that they've stood with Asian people, and not acknowledging that it is repackaged Black music, to the point where I, a Chinese person, have to answer for what you guys are doing. Like, I'm not gonna deny that there is white proximity and anti-Blackness in every single Asian community, but because Koreans are so visible, white people fetishize y'all and you keep letting them do that, it has become my problem as a Chinese person to try and show that we are not all anti-Black and weird.
I seen a video about this, and I'm so glad that this is a conversation, because I definitely noticed this, and it's particularly a reason why I have a lot of trouble engaging with this particular genre of music. And I know many people are going to disagree with this, but K-pop and the way that K-pop mocks Black culture, I cannot get with it. I can't get with it. Like, I done seen too many K-pop things. Like, I seen the Kick in the Door one, I seen the like Rihanna one, and it's like, even the ones that are like not plays on like American music and things like that, it's just like the mannerisms, the clothes, the dancing, the groups having rappers. Like, what the fuck is this? I think what a lot of people tend to forget is that alongside white people, the Asian community is about just as racist towards Black people, if not more. And I find it so telling that within like K-pop and things like that, how they draw so many of their aspects from Black culture, but generally do not fuck with Black people like that. Especially the way Black people get targeted and like frowned upon, especially and particularly by the Asian community when they openly and publicly enjoy K-pop. So I don't know. I don't think that K-pop is something that shouldn't be a thing or something that shouldn't be a genre, but at the end of the day, it is an appropriation of Black culture, definitely not an appreciation, and I'm glad that this is finally becoming a conversation.
So why do Black K-pop fans exist at all? Why do they spend money, travel to concerts, defend the artists against hate, only to be heard again when the next controversy drops? The answer is both simple and complicated. The music, for many Black fans, is genuinely good. The performances are unmatched. The fandom offers community, joy, escape. These are real things that K-pop provides. But also, Black fans have been here since the beginning. The culture that K-pop borrows from hip-hop, R&B, dance, is the culture that raised them. When they hear K-pop, they hear echoes of home. The tension is real. A 2025 article in Refinery29 captured it. K-pop fans love their idols because they connect to their passion and artistry, but as controversies emerge, cultural appropriation, colorism, anti-Blackness, they are forced to separate the art from the artist in ways other fandoms rarely have to. The paradox is this: to love K-pop as a Black fan is to love a genre that loves you back only selectively. It will take your culture, use your sound, emulate your style, but it will rarely defend you. It will rarely center you, and it will repeatedly, predictably, disappoint you.
Besides the obvious racism in the BTS Howard University situation, what I'm seeing is just a lack of depth and a lack of interaction with the story that they are supposedly trying to tell, trying to use, capitalize on to market their documentary, their show, whatever it is. It says to me that you didn't actually take the time to think critically about the story you're telling, the story that you're using, and it's saying that it's so important and integral. There's no critical thought. It was just serendipitous that they happened to be 7 Korean men and the recording of Arirang. Like, it's serendipitous, and you were lucky enough that was what happened. But rather, if anyone on the production team had taken even a moment to think about the story, think about how that situation could have arisen, that out of all the universities, they could only go to Howard University, that this kind of situation happens there during segregated America, then they would have come to the very, very obvious, clear understanding that this is because of segregated racist America. And they would know to make sure that the student body is properly represented in their trailer. But no, because they did not interact with the story at any depth, and rather they just used what they saw, skimmed it quickly, and they were like, oh, this is something really convenient for us to capitalize on. That's how we ended up in this situation. It's a lack of depth, a lack of creativity, just trying to, they see something that like looks good enough and they choose to not interact with it any further. And it makes me so, like, it feels like the story is so hollow and no depth and just shallow and vacant of any soul, because I can tell that they have not interacted with the story at any significant level.
And when it comes down to K-pop idols not being held accountable for their racist actions, a lot of black K-pop fans also play into that shit as well. Because I see so many people saying, oh, they did it so long ago, oh, you guys are reaching, I'm black, I didn't get offended. Mind you, this K-pop idol just said, and mind you, they're sitting up here portraying negative stereotypes. And before you guys say I'm reaching, or you guys call these black K-pop fans that I'm allegedly talking about bots, just remember, I saw so many black K-pop fans trying to defend Court, saying that if you found anything wrong with what Carter's did, you are racist. They literally tried to gaslight their own people. And then on top of that, I still see people making videos saying, oh, why could we cancel Kiss of Life, but we couldn't cancel Black? And when they say that, they're always trying to defend Kiss of Life. They're like saying we shouldn't have canceled. Mind you, Kiss of Life fandom is majority POC. So of course they're going to be canceled. Versus Blackpink, who has more fans in South Korea, who has more white fans. Yeah, it's going to be harder to cancel a big global girl group like Blackpink. All in all, when I see like black K-pop fans defending K-pop idols' racist actions, I'm just like, damn. You really are a pick me. You just want to be picked by them so bad, but they're never gonna pick you.
Yo, it's this is conversation circulating right now, and we're gonna talk about this right now. It's this post that a lot of people have been. I done seen it about 3-4 times, but I know a lot of my some of my followers have been posting it, and I want to talk about. We're gonna talk about this right now. It's a post talking about which other race is or ethnicity is more racist, the most racist towards Asians, and at the top of the list is in this supposed poll is black people, white people, Latinos, and Hispanics, and others. And it's like, y'all, I'm gonna say this because this is dealing with K-pop directly. You don't get to say stuff like that, and y'all model K-pop after hip-hop. Look at all the hip hop relevant K-pop groups. Y'all don't get to call us racist against y'all. Y'all don't get to do that. Y'all don't get to do that. Y'all don't get to do that. And this is gonna be one of those moments where it's like, then y'all gonna wonder why we get on some of these idols for stealing our culture or appropriating it, trying to make a quick buck. Because of stuff like this, you call us racist, but you don't see us. I'm not gonna say that. Y'all literally will be in a music video with braids, and y'all will take promotional art pictures with braids in y'all's hair, and then y'all don't see a problem with it until the fans start calling y'all out. I thought we was cool, and I thought our generation was trying to be better. We all POCs, but y'all had whites right under us. And I find that really funny because some of the people on TikTok, that's all I'm going to say. But as far as my, our community is concerned, the K-pop community, I call people out on BS, plain and simple. I, like everybody in the world that says something racist or says something that's pissed somebody off of a different race, I've learned, and y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop with all of this stuff. Because if that's how y'all feel, then y'all need to stop claiming hip hop. Y'all need to stop swiping our aesthetic. Y'all need to just stop doing all these extra things, and then get defensive when we call you out on it.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back. I hope you all are doing great today. Look, I have to say something to my black people, alright? The world sees what we have. They always have, okay? The world sees what we got, that they always have. but they don't want to admit it came from us. Our music is running everything right now, K-pop included, and it all goes back to what we created: hip hop, blues, the whole foundation. But here is what gets me, all right? These same folks got anti blackness in their pocket. They'll take our culture, flip it, call it theirs, and but show us respect. Nah, you can't hate me and want what I made at the same time. That mess has been happening for too long. Nick Minaj said it. When you know you were great, you don't need to hate. Alright? We stay cool because we know who we are. We start the trends, they follow. And people love saying black folks got no culture, but watch who they copy. We talk of the clothes, the music, the slang, all us, you know what I'm saying? But that's not showing love, that's taking without asking. The media lied about us for years, very, very long years. But look at the facts. We build the culture, they make the money, we get erased. Same story forever. K-pop just one K-pop just one piece of a bigger problem. Guys, let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Lane at Insights. Shout out to everybody rocking with me. And guys, I want you to hit my email if you want us to talk. Stay blessed. Peace. Mm-hmm.